So all we were going to talk about was that MSI meeting that we went to. The minutes have been read and accepted by the members of the Shellfish Commission, so we're all set on that. And just bring you up to date, Clamor, on what we saw and that meeting in Gloucester with MSI and DMF. Who was that guy?
Which one?
The guy in charge of the MSI thing for DMF. You knew him.
No, Jeff Kennedy.
Not Jeff Kennedy, the other guy, the kid that was sitting on.
Oh, Chris Sawacki.
Do you know him? He used to be up.
Christopher Sawacki.
He used to be up here.
Yeah.
So, what it looks like to me anyway is that now DMF is running MSI. They had 3 people sitting up at the front table. 2 of them were employees of DMF, and the third guy was from Mass Maritime.
Mass Maritime.
And then they had a bunch of people that were supposedly the board, all sitting on the side. And most of them were affiliated with the aquaculture industry. And one was a shellfish warden from down the Cape.
Who'd you talk to? Have you talked to her since?
No, that was the one that was sitting behind us. The one that was sitting.
Oh, the other one, yeah. She talked to us outside.
She talked about counting all the clams when they come off the clam flats every day.
Yeah.
That wasn't gonna work.
No.
They do that anyways.
Yeah. But, yeah, but they won't give us the info. They won't give us the info on razor clams.
Why?
The rule of 3s. So supposedly there's not more than 3 people buying the razor clams. So they won't give us the aggregate weight and the money that was
I've seen
collected.
that, yeah,
So that's what they do.
I've seen that.
So anyway, on that.
Because that's why when we went to, and the new report thing was that there was no master diggers. So there was like, what, 3 or 4?
Right, yeah.
And, you know.
So they wouldn't give us that info either.
No, they had some info, but what it was they wanted more people to be master diggers. Well, who's gonna be a master digger if you can't dig but so many days? Like this one here, like all these little storms that came through, right? We got over ½ an inch, right?
Yeah.
So, getting back to what you said,
So what it sounded like to me, and I don't know, maybe Paul had a different take on it, but they want to take and standardize the rules for aquaculture. So they basically want to take the towns out of it. Like that, and so we had people there from the Cape that were sitting behind us too, from Chatham and all these different towns down the Cape. They had a pretty good showing because it's big time for them. They're saying, hey, every town is different, so the town should have input into how it's run, the aquaculture is run. And the kid there, Chris, he's like, well, these people are going to put out so much money, for aquaculture, so they should have a standardized set of rules and stuff like that. So I think the fix is in. They're definitely going to screw the towns and give to the aquaculture industry whatever they want. We could write a letter, because they'll accept a letter, but I don't know what good it's going to do us. Just saying that, Jeff Walker was there. He said that, he was for home rule, for the towns having control. We could send a letter saying that. And the other thing with aquaculture is it makes few people a lot of money, where wild harvest clamming can provide a lot of people with a good income. So that's it. What'd you get out of it? Anything different?
Well, the same with us. But I can't see them doing it because the we're government, you know what I mean? So I don't know how we're object of.
You mean up here for us?
For us, really?
Yeah, but they can change it in a heartbeat if there's enough money. That's the only good thing.
Right.
well, the thing between there and here is when you come from like, I don't know, a little past Gloucester, north, we don't really have the amount of aquacultural space or
Right,
whatever that covers a lot of area. We have like, you know, estuaries with, you know, mostly mud banks that settle from, you know, debris and whatever over the years, and we don't have like the sandy going or the, you know,
big open flats, yeah.
big open areas. We do have some, but not to the capability of what they're trying to do,
Yeah,
like
right.
commercialize and, you know, monopolize, an industry that, you know, supports a lot of, commercial fishermen that won't be able to do the aquaculture and are gonna be, you know, restricted or whatever. Not saying that I'm not for the aquaculture, but, you know, different areas, it's just like going clamming. You could dig over here and there'd be a white shell clam, and I could walk over there 10 feet and it could be a dark shell clam. You're gonna get different areas that are good for, you know, different aquacultural situations. And I just can't see how they can just take our northern areas into that. I just don't know.
Well, right now, like you said, we're protected because all our flats are on the refuge,
Right.
so.
Well, that's probably what they're figuring up there too, that, oh, well, they're protected anyway, so, well, you know, once they get their hands in there,
It's more of a move to get the towns out of control of the flats and put it in the hands of the state. And
And I don't like the word when they said that letting other people's in their areas and stuff coming in, that's, you know.
I know, I
That's-
brought that up when they were talking about access.
Right,
What do you mean by access?
right.
But anyway, it doesn't really affect us, but it's something I think we probably ought to keep an eye on.
well, if they wanna get into that, we'll say, okay, we'll do that. The town gets so much money, and you have to employ so many, harvesters from this town
Well,
to be able to do that.
that's an idea too, is to start thinking or looking to see how they run it in other towns, or in case they do.
Employ some of the people that are in this town, or,
Yeah.
Right.
Did you get any?
because, I don't know, you know what I mean, it's such a hard thing to,
I don't know, you don't want.
it could be a good thing, but we don't want everybody coming in and saying, oh, like, you know, it's like Gold Rush, you're coming in on my claim, or, you know,
You know, DMF has such a poor record when it comes to like ocean fishery. The shrimp, the local shrimp, they opened that up, that was great, oh yeah, great industry. Now there's one boat that can take shrimp, and it's for, you know, research only. So that industry's gone. So anything that the DMF backs and says yes to, you have to.
well, I know for a fact that they're taking shrimp now, putting them in those little inflatable tube things and feeding them,
Oh yeah,
and
you,
becoming into
yeah.
prawns in about, 3 months.
have you
They
done,
grow 2 inches a month,
Wow,
have you
think
done
about that.
any water testing with,
no, I haven't been out.
have you heard anything from them?
No.
Because they were testing for clam cancer, right?
Yeah, she did that.
Did you hear anything
I
on
didn't
that?
hear anything back on that.
And then the other thing we found out there at that meeting, I don't know if I told you that or not, but Kennedy came over to us after the meeting, and he said that the state of Massachusetts is no longer in compliance when it comes to water testing. The feds don't want the water tested anymore, they want the meat on the clams tested after a rain event. So they want them tested before the rain event, and then they want them tested after the rain event to see how long it takes them to purge out. So we don't know if that's gonna help us or
Well,
hurt
it
us.
could be the same thing as how long does it take for them to ingest it and start showing signs.
Right.
So it
So
might
it
help you
might
with some.
open up longer on that end, but who knows? But that's something new, and he said that So they're gonna start doing that, so we wanna kinda stay on them and find out.
Which that could help
If the
us.
results are good, they're not gonna tell us. If
No.
the results are bad,
They'll be all over it.
yeah. So that was the biggest thing we learned at that meeting. Every once in a while, we go to those meetings and we get one little,
Extra.
one little gem of input. And that's it.
Well, they might be able to take that accounts from the meat and show that the recovery time,
Yeah,
or it doesn't ingest it as bad as we thought from the top water, from the water sample. So even though the water sample from the clam is showing that it's high, it's actually not ingested it enough through the period of time
right.
which the legal limits
If the water
allow.
cleans out.
Did I
quicker-
say that right?
If the water cleans out quicker than the clam can ingest it,
Right.
then we could
We'll
cut
make up
cut our
for that.
time down.
That's what I'm trying to say. Or they might not shut down at all,
Right?
unless you get like a heavy rainfall where you're getting it in a long stage of period of time, which then they're actually starting to ingest it into the meat.
Yeah.
Because I know that, well, Bud knows too, you too. Clams only grow during certain times, and it's, when they ingest the fresh water, mostly, because they build up a hard shell and then they, you know, squirt out the seed, but, you know, even if maybe like a cycle of growing spell slows down, maybe they don't ingest it as much, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm just thinking of different things that
I know,
we might not be told that.
no, this will be interesting to see what happens, but. And
Come
we'll,
on, I'm watching that CSI now.
Yeah.
you get your truck back, I see, huh?
Yeah.
When'd you get that?
Yesterday.
Nice. All
Awesome.
fixed?
Well, get me from point A to point B, put it that way.
And the only other thing, I was down the ramp, and I was talking to one of the assistant harbor masters, and, they pulled the Johnny on the spots already.
Yeah, they're gone.
Should they leave one in longer? I mean, at least until they take the docks out?
I don't know, man, they probably pulled them out from them storms, they wanted to get them out of there.
I think they pulled him early. He was saying he wished they'd left him in another month. You know, it costs some money, but it's not that much, even if they just left one in.
Yeah,
There's one at the Upper Green, but,
There is one up there,
yeah.
so there's one close. But is that just because they had some?
there's still, you know, there's still some boats in the water, you know what I mean?
I
I
know.
think the dogs are coming up this week, but you're right, you know what I mean? It's nice to have one there. for
Yeah, leave until December anyway, so, but maybe we can ask the selectmen to do that. That's all I got.
Good.
I'll give Devin a call during the week, find out about the clam cancer, and I'll
I
find out.
thought you'd email me, but I didn't hear anything.
Have you walked back out by the halfway house
Yeah,
yet?
it's still got all dead stuff there, but there's still seed there, and there's still seed over on odd ways, and nothing on the spot. It's weird.
Really?
Nothing on the reef, but big clams on the reef.
So far down, you know, not that far down, but where that ditch comes in.
Yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
there, it stops, there's nothing, all the way over. They think there's a little bit more razors on there, on the other skirts, so that it seemed like it took over going up by
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other ditch, but.
How do the razors look, you know? I mean, they've already started to dig them, so they filled right back
You
in.
know, not a lot, but they'll do all right.
Have you been down there and walked around at all, Bud? I was gonna walk down there, like,
Oh, it's sloppy, I've never seen it so bad in the islands.
really?
I don't know why, it's just bad. Down towards the cove, going towards number one, you
Yeah.
gotta stay in the ditch, and all of a sudden you gotta move away from it, suck right out of sight. Oh my God.
It used to be kinda hard over to the
Yeah.
right down there, and it's
All
shallow over
sloppy
there.
now, it's like, oh.
All right, I'm gonna bring this meeting to a close
Yep.
on camera, and then
Second.
I can show you